Hi folks, welcome to the Prepared Homestead. This is Travis. Thank you all for stopping by to watch. I've spent a lot of time this morning, got up really early, couldn't sleep. Spent a lot of time thinking about what to say today. Because obviously with all the stuff going on, I need to say something. We need to stay in communication. But I admit that with all the stuff going on, sometimes I'm trying to figure out exactly what I need to say, what I should, pray about it. Folks, regardless of what actually happens, and there's lots of rumors about what could happen or what is happening behind the scenes, we have entered a pretty dark period for our nation. And regardless of what the future holds for us, I think history is going to reflect pretty greatly on this. It could be good or bad. That's probably will be determined by how the outcome is. The globalist, the leftists, the progressives, the Marxists, whatever you want to call them, I think they're pretty much hell-bent on following through with this. I think they feel that they've probably passed the point of no return. They have momentum right now. It appears they have enough support, especially by the people in general, that are blindly cheering this on. So over the next few days and few weeks, like I've said in the past, a lot could happen, and we need to get ready for it. They're shutting down every way we can possibly communicate. I am currently looking at Gab. I'm on there, and I know the first thing you're going to say is Gab's not working right now. Gab's not working because they're having millions and millions of people jump on board over there, and it's just bottlenecking their servers. They're about the only one that is self-hosting that I can determine, and their platform seems to work really well, looks really good when it's working right. They've said for the last 2 or 3 days that every day they are adding more servers, and they have more on the way. To bear with them, that they are getting things up to speed to where it can handle the volume of people over there. If they can do that, it looks to be a pretty good platform. It's kind of an all-encompassing platform, kind of like a Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, e-commerce, everything all wrapped up in one. And if that's if they're able to get their system where it can handle the volume, I think it has the potential to be a really good one. There's little whispers coming from the CEO of Gab that, or at least indications that possibly the president might be the place that he ends up. And if that happens, there's certainly going to be a lot of people over there. There are other alternatives. They're shutting down Parler tonight at midnight. And Parler says that it's going to be about a week before they can get themselves back up and running on another platform or other servers. It's more than just this, though. There is language coming from certain people in Congress that sounds very much like they themselves are readying themselves for a war. And I'm not talking a digital war. I'm not talking a war of words, but a real war. There's just that feeling. Looking at poll numbers that's coming out, a lot of the Americans are also thinking it's going to happen. They really think that a physical civil war is upon us. There's a lot of strange goings on around the world, and at least what we can see, and then that leads me to something else. Something that we have learned over the last few years, and that's certainly right now is something we need to be aware of. We really have no way of verifying just about anything we see and hear online. Unless you have, proof in your hands, physical, tangible proof, it's just about impossible. We have to just use our own minds, our deductive reasoning, our just kind of use your head and your heart together to try to figure out if you think that this even makes sense, because there's so much floating around, so much disinformation, misinformation, lies, propaganda, psyops from both sides. And so we have to be careful what we're, you know, basing everything on. But it does appear that there is a lot of chaotic things going on. There's rumors that there's a huge fallout in Silicon Valley, that they're basically drawing battle lines, so to speak, that there's been a lot of people quit their jobs because they don't want to be involved in all the stuff that, you know, companies like Twitter and Facebook are doing. There's just a lot of craziness right now, okay? I think we all can agree on that. And I could go into more and more detail of all the stuff that's going on. So what does that mean for us, though? I don't want to ever come across as inciting fear or panic, but and again, these are just based on this. What I'm going to say is based on rumors and speculation, but it does make sense to me to at least be a little prepared for it. There are rumors and speculation that over the coming days, this country in certain places or even nationwide could experience electrical blackouts, communication blackouts. There's some that's happening in other countries, but there's no way to prove that they're related to anything that's going on here in America or globally. I think it would be a smart thing to go and today and take out some cash out of the ATM, have it on hand. Right now, it appears that currency is still working, so as long as it still has value, having it in your hand is going to be better than on a card in a bank that you can't access because, you know, electricity's gone down or communication systems and networks have gone down. So it's what I'm doing today. I'm going to go take out a good bit of currency to add to what we already have and have it set aside just in case. I mean, what's the worst thing that can happen, or if nothing happens? If nothing happens, you can go back in a few days or a week or whatever and stick it back in the bank. It's pretty simple, but I would certainly get ready for that. I don't think it's crazy. Some of you may disagree with me, and if you do, you know, go ahead and present a good argument of why I'm crazy for saying this. But I don't think it's crazy to take precautions over the next few days or a next week or two of having your fuel topped off, making sure that you're ready in case there are power outages, doing things to kind of stay home for a while as much as possible. Not too much traveling if you can avoid it. It's hard to say what's going to happen. I cannot imagine all that has transpired over the last few days just eventually fizzling out and everyone just not caring and moving on and licking their wounds. In the beginning of all this fallout, it did appear that the president was kind of doing that he was kind of just going to back down, lick his wounds, and leave. But there are indications already that maybe that's not the case. And I know some of you think that there's some overarching great plan that is in the works, and maybe there is, and maybe there isn't. But regardless of what he's doing, the American people, especially conservatives, they're fed up. Many of them feel that they have been taking abuse by the left for many years, and they're sick of it. And there's indication that people are just, they're ready. They're ready. They're ready. They're ready. They're ready to fight. And that puts us in a bad position. I guess if that's what you, if you're worried about that kind of thing, you could also look at it as it puts us in a place that we've needed to be for a long time. I hear a lot of stuff going on online, a lot of these politicians especially saying that what happened at the Capitol and what's going on is damaging to our democracy. Well, okay, we'll go ahead and call it democracy for right now. We all know that we're a republic, but actually it's not. If you look at what a democracy is, what a republic is, what it needs to be, how it works good for the people, uprisings every once in a while are a good thing. Our founding fathers said this. They said that the only way for this system to stay free and to stay a representative government of the people is for there occasionally to be uprisings. There needs to be dissent. There needs to be protest. There needs to be, on occasion, things to let the people in power know that they do not have absolute power. For far too long, we've had it reversed in this country, where we, the people, fear the government, when it's actually supposed to be the government fearing we, the people. That's how it's supposed to be. That's how it should be. And I'm starting to see little glimpses of that happening, that those in power are starting to get a little scared. That, maybe we've stirred up the hornet's nest too much. And so they're trying to fight back as much as they can by doing everything that they can do to shut us down and to shut people, ability to react to what's happening. I do believe that there is a strong possibility that we are headed for a physical type conflict in this nation. I've said it before, I think that's the only way to regain liberty. When it's been taken from you by force, there's really only one way to get it back. So you need to be praying, you need to be prepping, like you've never prayed and prepped before. None of us have ever lived, or at least I would think most of us, unless you're from a foreign nation that's gone through something like this, but most of us have never lived through this level or this type of civil conflict and possibly civil war. It's going to be, it very well could be very destructive to our way of life. It doesn't mean that the end outcome will be bad. It could be a good. And I hope whatever happens, the end outcome is good. But folks, the Great Reset is full speed ahead. And we need to start getting ready. So again, I don't think it hurts to go to an ATM today and take out some cash. How much is up to you. I don't think it hurts to top off tanks and gas cans if you haven't done so already. Things are moving around pretty crazy. I don't know how much more time I have here on YouTube. They're shutting places down left and right, so I'm trying to figure it out. You need to start being careful with your internet presence. They're doing a lot of monitoring and shutting people down now. It wouldn't hurt to have something like a VPN. It's what I'm pushing here on this channel. We use it. There's a link in the description below. It's called Viper VPN. It's one of the top 5 rated VPNs in the nation. I like it because they are they're out of the United States. They're in Switzerland, and Switzerland has some of the best privacy laws. They do not keep any files or records, and they have different types of VPN service once you purchase it. And one of them is just to keep people from like phishing, kind of spamming you. But there is one that they claim will protect you from government monitoring. It does slow you down a little bit more, but it seems to work pretty good. And you can, for this service, you can have up to 30 devices on it, which is quite a bit. They have a money-back guarantee, and it's what I recommend. I did a lot of research, and I know it may not be one that you've ever heard of, this Viper VPN. It's not the standard one that most of the YouTubers are pushing, and it's because I did the research and I didn't like the things I found about the VPNs that a lot of these other YouTubers are pushing. I just don't think that they're aware of who owns them and where their servers are housed, and you got to do a little bit digging. If you're going to depend on a certain company to provide your security, you better be digging into that company and making sure they're legitimate. I mean, look at the stuff that's happening. Everyone was moving to Parler because Parler would be the new social media app, and then come to find out Amazon's hosting Parler. Their Parler servers are on Amazon, and Amazon's they nixed them. Tonight at midnight, they go dead. So you have to be careful of who you're looking into in these tech companies. And this Viper VPN, I did some digging, and it's a very legitimate company, and I feel very safe, or at least comfortable with promoting it. So there'll be a link in the description below for that one. Get yourselves ready, folks. it doesn't hurt to be ready. It's not going to really cost you anything else to make sure your gas tanks are topped off and you have plenty of currency in hand and not just all in the bank where you can't get it if there's some kind of blackout. It doesn't hurt to go and stock up on things. It doesn't hurt to kind of change your plans and maybe stay home as much as possible and get yourself ready. Um, these are things that if nothing happens and life just goes on as normal, it's not really cost you a whole lot. So uh, that's what I would do, because folks, things don't look good right now. Um, there's just a lot going on. I think there's too much going on for it to just be nothing. Um, if nothing was really happening, then why is the left, why are the tech companies doing so much, putting so much energy into shutting some things down, shutting certain people down? Why are, it's like they're frantic right now. They're doing everything they can to shut the president and to shut all of us down, or conservatives. And there's, my gut tells me there's something. Maybe I'm wrong, but it doesn't hurt to get yourselves ready. All right, folks. Thank you all for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.